Hey everybody, I hope that you're all doing well, staying safe and staying busy. With the current circumstances that are amongst us and the high recommendation regarding the practice of social distancing, I've decided to make a video refreshing many of you on something that you may not use all that often involving remote hits. This video is going to go over mix-minus audio, IFB, and more specifically, an instrument called the Innkeeper PBX Digital Hybrid by JK Audio. First, let's review some terminology. What is mix-minus? Well, mix-minus simply refers to a particular setup of a mixing console in which the output contains everything except a designated input. Mix-minus is often used to prevent echoes or feedback in broadcast, be it radio, television, or some other type of sound reinforcement systems. Essentially, the audio operator is bringing in every source to the console, but only outputting what is needed to each destination. For this example, I will be introducing a phone line to my mix, which is essential for any communication on any remote hit. It will serve as what is known as an IFB. But what exactly is an IFB? IFB is interruptible feedback, though I've heard it referenced as interrupted foldback and interrupt for broadcast, so all three references are correct. IFB is a monitoring or queuing system that is used in radio, TV, and film as a one-way method of communication from a director or a host to an on-air talent or a remote location. So now that we've familiarized ourselves with these two terms, let's move ahead with the setup of the Innkeeper, and I will show you how to incorporate IFB into your mix using the mix-minus technique. So I'm going to flip my camera, get out of the way, and let's get started. All right, when you are issued an IFB kit, it will come in a fairly modest-sized Pelican case. As you can see when you open it up, everything appears to fit nice and snug. So let's take a look at the main components of this kit. Of course, the most important thing is the Innkeeper itself. This is what every other piece in this kit revolves around. Next, a standard kit comes with not one, not two, not three, but 4 remote amplifiers. You may not need all 4, but I would always highly suggest setting up a backup. Moving on, you're going to have an analog phone. The Innkeeper will accept both analog and digital lines, so keep that in mind when you're going on to a newer venue that may have digital lines or even a place that has updated their systems. Next, we have the 6-way splitter, which enables you to set up multiple remote amps. Again, always set up a backup. You never know when you're going to need it, and having a backup route is extremely essential in live audio. Next, we have some earpieces. These earpieces pair with the remote amps, and you should always examine these before heading to the location that you're going to go. Make sure that you have a variety of sizes for one to fit, and make sure that you have both left and right earpieces to be able to provide that option on site. Okay. You're also going to have some cabling for your phone, and you should have some audio adapters like an RJ11 to XLR just in case you need to make a longer stretch from the phone port to where you actually are. Also, you're going to get an XLR jumper that you'll pass the signal from the Innkeeper to your mixer with. And always check to make sure that you have the power supply for the Innkeeper. I note this because it's actually happened before. You should also be mindful to bring plenty of batteries. The remote amplifiers are powered by 9 volts, so have enough of them to get you through your shoot. And finally, check for alcohol wipes, okay? Nobody wants to wear a dirty earpiece, so always check to make sure that you have plenty of them. I say this because it's one of those things that often gets overlooked, okay? Next, let's take a look at the other accessories needed to successfully set up your IFB. All right, So you've seen the main components of the IFB kit itself. So now let's turn to the additional tools that you'll need in order to implement the Innkeeper. For this video, I'm using a Sound Devices 302 mixer. You're also going to want to use a lavalier microphone. I know I only have one in the frame, but always bring one more than you actually need just in case one has malfunctioned. I always add a power strip for myself so that I have plenty of space to plug my equipment in. Of course, you're going to want to bring headphones so that you can monitor the mix. And last but not least, bring plenty of XLR cabling of various lengths. Now that we've covered the necessary equipment involved to do this, let's get it set up. Okay, so this is usually how I like my setup, with the 302 on top of the Innkeeper. It provides for a small footprint and leaves everything nice and compact. On the back of the Innkeeper, connect the XLR jumper into the caller port. Then, connect the other end of the jumper to a channel of your choosing. For this example, I chose channel 3. Also, be mindful of the impedance setting on the channels that you connect to. Now that the Innkeeper is connected to the mixer, you're going to want to plug in your lavalier mic. In this case, I'm connecting the lav directly to the mixer, but you'll more than likely need an additional XLR for extra length. I also highly suggest setting up a backup. So now the lavalier is connected to channel 1 and the Innkeeper is connected to channel 3. This is where you will determine where you want your sources to go as far as the mix minus is concerned. You will see the panning function for each channel located right here and right here. They are right under each channel. So you will be bringing in both sources to the mixer, but subtracting the Innkeeper from your main mix, hence mix minus. So in order to do this, you must pan one source one way and the other source the opposite way. For this example, I'm going to pan the lavalier to the left side and the Innkeeper to the right side. So now the microphone is only passing signal on the left output and the Innkeeper is only passing signal on the right output. After you have made your panning designations, you can do a quick check to make sure that your microphone is passing signal on the left channel only. The upper LED string signifies the left channel. The lower represents the right channel. Notice that the lower string of lights is not illuminated. That's because no signal is being passed on the right channel. Now that you have designated panning for each source, let's take a look at the output panel on the 302 mixer. Your left output is right here, and your right output is here. Everything that is panned left is only going to pass signal to the left output. Likewise, everything that is panned right is only going to pass signal to the right output. If the panning is set to center, signal will pass through both outputs. Since my microphone is panned left, I will want to connect an XLR cable into the left output. The other end of that cable will go to the camera or wherever my program mix is ultimately going, because that's what's being sent back to the bureau. And with the Innkeeper being panned right, that signal will need to be routed to the right output only. Connect an XLR cable to the right output, which will be connected to your 6-way splitter. The 6-way splitter only has one input. Connect the other end of your XLR to that input. Next, connect another XLR into an output of the 6-way splitter. This cable will be connected to one of your 4 remote amplifiers. And again, make sure that you have plenty of alcohol wipes to thoroughly clean your earpieces. After you have all of your sources routed, there's one more thing that you need. Can anyone guess what that is? That's right, the telephone. I always connect this last because it keeps the bulkiness out of the way while I'm running all of my other cables. But since I shot this in the equipment room where digital lines are present, I'm not going to use this phone. Instead, I'll use this phone. But as a reminder, the Innkeeper will pass both analog and digital lines. Once your phone is connected to an active line, dial the number given to you by either transmission or logistics. Hopefully, you'll hear Confidence Feed on the other end. And if you don't, you can always call back to the Bureau and ask someone to do so. As soon as you hear Confidence, you will want to remove the connection from the phone's handset and connect it to the Innkeeper. And don't instinctually put the handset back on the phone, as that will cut your line off. I usually connect it to the handset port on the back side of the Innkeeper, but the phone port will also work. Finally, press the broadcast button on the front side of the Innkeeper. Pressing this will pass signal through to your mixer, which has been pre-routed through panning to go to its desired location, and not to the program mix. You will see the lower string of the LED lights illuminate on the 302 mixer. You will now be able to monitor both sources in your mixer while only sending one source back on air. So there you have it. Mix minus isn't so hard, right? As always, if you have any questions in the audio world or just want to learn more about a particular unit, let me know. I'm always willing to help. Thanks everybody for watching. You guys stay safe, take care, be well, and happy mixing.